Is pineapple farming really profitable in Ghana? My honest answer is yes, but only if you do certain things right. And today I'm going to tell you exactly what those things are, including the mistakes I made personally that cost me more than I ever expected. Welcome back to the African Agripreneur. I'm Kinkonu Elizabeth, and on this channel, we keep it real. Today's video is one I've been wanting to make for a long time because every single day people ask me, Kinkono, is pineapple farming really worth it? Can I actually make money from this? And my answer is always the same, yes, but not automatically, not without strategy, and definitely not without learning from people who have already made the mistakes. So today I'm going to give you the full picture, the good, the not so good, and the lesson that changed everything. Let me start with the good news. I planted my first pineapple farm as a university student. No mentor holding my hands, no blueprints, just research, faith, and a farm manager who believed in the process. In 2022, I had my first profitable harvest, and that moment confirmed everything I had believed since primary six, that this industry is real, the money is real, and the opportunity is real. As I shared my cost breakdown video, if you harvest during scarcity, you can make over 100% profit on your investment. That is not a figure I made up. That is what this business can do when you approach it with strategy. So yes, pineapple farming is profitable in Ghana. And now let me tell you the other side of that story. Let me take you back to my very first harvest. I was still learning. I had hired a farm manager and I trusted the process, or at least I thought I did. Whenever they needed money, I sent it. I kept the receipts. I thought that was enough. It was not. I was not going to the farm regularly. I was not physically present when the work was being done. And one of the biggest mistakes I made, I did not go to count the suckers when we were buying them. When I harvested and did my calculations, I realized that not all 20,000 suckers had been planted. I had paid for 20,000, but the full 20,000 were not in the ground. Where did the rest go? I cannot tell you, but my harvest told the story. My cost of production was high. My yield was not what it should have been. And at the end of the first harvest, I broke even, no profit. Now, here is what I want you to understand. Breaking even on your harvest could break your spirit, or it could sharpen your mind. For me, it sharpened my mind. I sat down and did the math properly. I looked at what went wrong, what could have been done different, and what the numbers would have looked like if I had done things right. And the math told me clearly pineapple farming is profitable. I just hadn't framed it the right way yet. There is something else I want to share. After that first harvest, if I had if I had sold a sacket that came from my pineapple plant, that alone would have been my profit. Think about that. The suckers you plant produce have value. Never overlook what your farm is giving you. I didn't trust the farm manager again after that experience. So I made a decision. I was going to do everything myself. Be present, count everything, verify everything, and control everything. And the very first time I did it that way, God being so good, I made 100% profits. Farm didn't change, the crop didn't change, the land didn't change. What changed was me, my involvement, my presence, my strategy. That is the lesson. But the lesson didn't stop there because farming will always find new ways to teach you. Last year, I had 8 acres of pineapple at a location that, with his size, was not the right place. I divided the 8 acres into two batches of 4 acres each, planted a few months apart so I could stagger my harvest. Smart plan on paper, reality was very different. When it was time to harvest the first batch, cattle came onto the farm and ate almost half of my produce. Just like that, half of what I had worked for, gone. I was devastated, frustrated, and honestly, I just wanted to leave the place as fast as I could. So when it was time for the second batch, I forced the harvest earlier than I should have. I didn't fertilize again before forcing because I was so desperate to get out of that location. I harvested in November, right in the middle of abundance season when prices were at their lowest. And because I only fertilized the second batch once instead of proper number of times, a lot of the fruit came out small. Small fruits, low season prices, and Castle had eaten some of those too. That season hurt financially and emotionally. But do you know what it gave me? Clarity. Because every single mistake I made that season taught me something that no book could have taught me. So, what separates profitable pineapple farmer from one who keeps losing money? In my experience, it's come down to three things. Number one, fertilize at the right time. Fertilizing is not just something you do once and forget. It is an ongoing process that directly affects the size and the quality of your fruits. Small fruits mean lower prices, and lower prices on top of high production costs will eat your profit alive. I learned this the hard way with my second batch. Don't make the same mistake. Number two, be present when work is being done. This is the one nobody wants to talk about. Some farmers lease their land, hire their labor, and then sit at home thinking everything will be handled honestly. It will not. When you are not there, you cannot control the quality of work being done. You cannot verify that the right number of suckers were planted. You cannot ensure the weeding was done properly. Your physical presence on that farm, especially when labor is working, is not optional. It is part of your investment. I learned this from my very first harvest. I was sending money and keeping receipt, thinking that was enough. It was not. Go to the farm, count your sachets, watch your labor, protect your investment. Number three, manage your weeds consistently. Weeds compete with your pineapple plants for nutrients. If if you let weeds take over, you are literally watching your profit disappear into the ground. Consistent weeding is not glamorous, but it's what keeps your farm healthy and your fruit growing the way they should. Now, I want to talk about the mistake I see most often, and it is the one that kills profits before the farm even reaches harvest. Most beginners focus entirely on the profit. They hear 100% returns and their eyes light up. They calculate how much they will make, but they forget to seriously think about their cost of production. Here is the truth: your cost of production determines how much profit you actually walk away with. If your production costs are high and your harvest comes during abundant season, you may barely break even or worse. And then there is the other issue. People hire laborers and go home. They assume the work will be done the right way. But labor without supervision is a risk you cannot afford in this business. I know this because I lived this. I sent money. I kept receipts. I stayed home and I paid the price. Be there, watch the workers, count the suckers, ask questions. Your money is in the ground. Protect it. After everything I just told you, the first harvest where I broke even, the farm manager I stopped trusting, the castle, the fourth harvest, the small fruits, the wrong timing. Am I still farming pineapples? Absolutely, without question. Because every single one of those experiences made me sharper, smarter, and more strategic. The first time I did everything right, I made 100% profit. Not luck, strategy. Pineapple farming is worth it, but it rewards the prepared, the present, and the patient. If you come into this business looking for easy money, this is not for you. But if you are willing to learn, show up, and make strategic decisions, this soil will reward you. That I can promise you from personal experience. If this video gave you value, please give it a thumb up and share it with someone who is considering going into pineapple farming. They need to hear this before they start. If you have questions about starting your own farm or you want personalized guidance, drop a comment below. Subscribe to the African Agripreneur for more honest, practical agribusiness content every week. I'm King Konu Elizabeth. The soil beneath our feet is our greatest asset, but only if we treat it with strategy. See you in the next one.